an MEC who really can speak for herself. I'd like to thank each and every single person who has taken their time to come here today. Our program is very short. We're not going to dilly-daddle. We're not going to do a lot. The house rules are very simple. That's number one. Can we put our phones on silent, right on cue? Can we put our phones on silent? Unfortunately, we'll have a dialogue later on, but when a person is speaking in the front or has the microphone, can we allow them to have that moment with that microphone? Should there be anything else, the staff here will, if there's an emergency, which I doubt there will be, the staff here is more than capable to help us out with whatever we need. Apologies for starting late, but that's the nature of the work that we are in. Let me start by welcoming everyone to this beautiful day. The MEC has spent 100 days in this department, and today we are going to have a highlight of the work that she has done over the past 100 days. We have a couple of media houses represented here. I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you, all of the staff that is here from the department, all of the officials that are here from the department. I'd like to say thank you, and to those who I'd like to call on to the podium the acting HOD, Ms. Puleng Khadebe Mabaso, to give us the opening remarks.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Honorable MEC, members of the media, editors, journalists, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to welcome you all to this important media engagement session. We deeply appreciate your presence here today as we reflect on the first 100 days of MEC Tasneem Motara in the office and the department's ongoing commitment to improving the lives of people of Gauteng. You are not just observers, you are partners in shaping the narrative, holding us accountable, and amplifying the voices of the people we serve. This partnership is essential to us as we strive to meet the housing needs of our citizens and create the future where every resident have access to secure, dignified housing. Today, we aim to do more than just report back on the progress of the past 100 days. We want to create an open dialogue where your questions, insights, and feedbacks can help shape the road ahead. Together, we can build the foundation for continued collaboration and ensure the needs of our communities remain at the forefront of everything we do. During today's session, you will hear more about the key achievements, the challenges we have faced, and ongoing projects and initiatives designed to improve housing and creating sustainable human settlements across Gauteng. We are committed to transparency and will ensure that all relevant information is shared with you, allowing you to inform the public and engage in meaningful discussions on these issues. With that said, we have an exciting and insightful program lined up for you today, where we will unpack the key insights or the key highlights of the first 100 days and share important updates. Thank you once more for your time, your presence, and your invaluable contribution to keeping the public informed. I thank you.
Hello. Oh, thank you, acting HOD. The guys who are assisting us. So what we have done, for those that we are not in the comms department with, we have compiled a very beautiful video for the 100 days that highlights the work that the MEC has been doing over the past 100 days. I've had it for a while, Brasox. I've been itching to send it to you. I've been itching because it's so beautiful. It also shows the work that the MEC, but I couldn't send it because I was afraid that you were going to leak it to the SABC. because I know your contacts at the SABC. Gadusha, are we ready? Please enjoy the 100-day highlights reel of MSc, Tasneem, Motara, and the Department of Human Settlements. This year, Gadusha, before we turn 35. Oh, sorry, that doesn't apply to you. Also, our media through Luzuko. Where's Luzuko? All of our media contacts, we will send this video to you for just in case you want to play it for your children. Thank you. It's that good. It's that good. It's that good. I have that much faith in it. Kadusha, if you don't have a DJing degree, the MEC actually does. She has evidence of it, so she can help you with it. No, this is not the video, Kadusha. You've gone. Oh yeah, let's rather do it that way. I think whilst Kadusha is still trying to get his honors in sound engineering, I think then it would be proper for us to then get a view from the MEC. I had wanted the chief of staff to come and introduce you, even though he's not part of the program. But he always says no to me, like you. So I always have these great ideas, and people just say no to me the whole time. So let it be this way. Gadush, you can keep working on it, my brother. The MEC will come up, and then we'll try again when she's done. It is my distinct honor to introduce. I'm being biased. The best MEC this country has ever seen. I'm not going to give your CV. Your CV is already on the profile. We call her Tiny Mega because she might be small, but everything that she does is a mega project. The MEC, the Honorable MEC of the Department of Human Settlements, Ms. Tasneem Motara.
Thanks so much, Gift. And thank you, HOD and your team, Chief of Staff and the team from the office. Apologies for being late. We play numerous roles, and in between, we get called to do all sorts of things that are unplanned. But I'm told that you, members of the media, have been here for quite some time. But you've had an opportunity to interact with the team. You've also had an opportunity, I'm sure, to get a sense of where we are, what we're doing, what our plans are going forward. So thank you so much for having spent all this time with us. Let me also thank you for making the time to join us as we reflect on the first 100 days of my term of office as the MEC of the Gauteng Department of Human Settlements. Of course, to echo what the acting HOD has said, it's not just a milestone, but it's also an opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with yourselves. You are definitely a vital partner in the work that we do. You are helping us to be transparent, accountable, but also communicate and engage with our communities. So for us, it's crucial. For me, it's crucial because you definitely also serve as a bridge between government and our citizens. Through your reporting, we may not like how or what you report on, but of course you also have a bottom line to chase, but it does allow us to highlight the work that the department does, but also inform and raise questions that ordinary citizens often have and they're not able to ask us directly. So it's a symbiotic relationship. It's essential for us to foster a culture of accountability, but also responsiveness within our government. I think your platforms definitely, if we use them better, they can definitely share our successes, our challenges, but also our future aspirations. And together we can amplify the voices of our communities and ensure that the needs of our residents are prioritized. So what have we been doing since the start of the administration in the past 100 days? Essentially just really getting to understand what are the big problems, and I'm sure you want to know what are we doing on Montrose. I'll touch on it a bit. But just looking comprehensively at what are we doing per development corridor, what are we doing in the south, in the west, here in the central corridor, but also in the east and the north. And of course, those have been also buttressed by a lot of significant activities that have taken place over the past 100 days. One which we had participated in today, which was the handing over of title deeds. But today I also had an opportunity to hand over certificates to beneficiaries who form part of our Rapid Land Release Program. So the Rapid Land Release Program is a program unique to Gauteng. It's not practiced anywhere else. And it's really where we're giving an opportunity to the missing middle to build for themselves, but we sort of meet you halfway by giving you stands that are serviced. So we've been able to hand over just over 4,000 title deeds over the past 100 days. And for me, it's not just a statistic, but it represents how we change people's lives. And also a very big question, which is the security of tenure. The restoration of dignity to citizens, but also just being able to ensure that through this process, they are secure of an asset, not only for themselves, but for their children and even generations later on. So these events, and I think 2 weeks ago when we were handing over a large amount of title deeds, about 1,900 title deeds on one day, I was asked on social media, so this must be a PR exercise, why do you speak about it, etc., etc. But the reality is that we hand over title deeds every week, and we're going to resuscitate just communicating about the handing over of title deeds. My predecessor introduced and launched Title Deed Friday, and going forward, we're just going to resuscitate that campaign just so that you are informed of even the 10 title deeds that we hand over in a small community that may be insignificant to many of us, but play a very significant role in the lives of people, those that they touch and those that they change. So I've had interactions with all municipalities, some not nice, some nicer than others, because a lot of what we do depends also on municipalities. For you to be able to build anything, even if it's you building your own home, you need to work with the municipality to approve it. Government is no different. So we have to work with municipalities, and our ability to spend or our ability to implement the work that we do does largely depend on the capacity in municipalities. And of course, the capacity of municipalities has come into under the spotlight and into question over the extended period. Of course, stability is one area that is a big challenge for us in municipalities. But just the internal, whether it's technical capacity or administrative capacity for municipalities to do what they're supposed to do. I often say that these days there's very little difference between a metro municipality and a local municipality. Municipalities are extremely constrained budget-wise, funding models, over-regulation, etc. I mean, the list is endless, especially if you listen to what municipalities and leadership of municipalities say. But the fact is that we have to work with them, and if it means that We also hold their hands through processes that ordinarily they're supposed to lead. We are prepared to do that. So let me speak a little bit about, so we've got mega projects. Our mega projects, again, spearheaded here in Gauteng. It's multi-typology housing developments, really anchored by private sector developers, landowners who come to the department, of course, through a process, and indicates that they're willing to partner with the department to develop those into mega projects for housing opportunities. So we subsidize the RTPs or the walk-ups, and subsidize other aspects of the building, of the development of mega projects. But the private sector, the private partners have a role and responsibility to play as well. They must assist us and develop either social or economic communities in these mega projects. We do have a long way to go in trying to work out what is the best way to do that, because there's line function departments that have a responsibility to play as well, Department of Health or Department of Education. But we also get from the private sector bonded homes. So you have a real mixed-use development, and those they build and sell to those who qualify. So it really gives impetus to the meaning of a new human settlement post-apartheid, where people of diverse backgrounds and even across the economic divide reside in a area or a node in a municipality. So one of our big mega projects that has been in the news, thanks to many of you, and many of you who are not here, is Montrose. So what do you want me to tell you about Montrose is that we have not spent 11 billion rand at Montrose. That's the first thing. So, so mega projects are supposed to, at the end of their development, be worth X amount of money. And Montrose, had it gone well according to plan, at the end of the development, it would be worth 11 billion. So that's both the contribution of government, the private sector, business, etc., and different investors investing. So what have we spent? We've spent just under 500 million. How does government work in the infrastructure space? We pay for work done. So there's no payment of work that was supposed to have been done and somebody ran away with it. No, you build, you invoice us, we quality assure the work, and we pay for work done. So the under 500 million that we've spent on Montrose since inception is for what you see on the ground and what you can't see underground, the bulk infrastructure. And what are we going to do? So where are we currently? Currently, we've had to unfortunately terminate the contractor. They are undergoing liquidation. They have got quite a lot of problems that impact our ability to move forward. And what are we going to do going forward? So we have to safeguard our investment. And it's first prize for us. How we do it is that we'll have to look at the law. We'll have to work within the law and negotiate a way out of making sure that we safeguard the current investment and then continue, because that's it's meant to be one of our biggest developments between ourselves and the municipality out in the West Rand. They still want the mega project, and we do too. There has been a lot of work done. There's been a lot of communication and interaction, so we do need to be able to salvage it. But please, if you can, just correct the narrative that 11 billion, somebody ran away with 11 billion. It's not true. I think in the year, we've never had 11 billion. So in a good year, we get about 4 billion rand over grants as well as equitable share. And some of it must go to employees, other things must go to all sorts of things that we're responsible for doing. So we spend about 3 billion over the different types of grants in a financial year. So there's never been 11 billion just to be able to spend on one mega project. But in the 100 days, we were also able to table the 24-25 budget. We also there again confirmed that just over 3 billion is what we've been allocated. We're looking to increase it, but we depend largely on what the national fiscus looks like. So again, there's a lot of noise about the fact that we'll never reach the we'll never reach what we're supposed to reach in terms of the backlog on housing. Never is a long time, I'd like to say. But the fact is that we build according to what we have and what we've been allocated. We know upfront from national human settlements what we have to build over the next 5 years. Each province knows what they have to build. And should the economy do well, should the fiscus improve, it will definitely see an improvement in the spending in the social area. We've improved our audit outcomes. So again, my predecessor, when he arrived 5 years ago, the department had a disclaimer, and I think it had a disclaimer for about 2 or 3 financial years. And we've been able to move from a disclaimer to an unqualified audit. And that means that the team working on that has been extremely dedicated, hard at work to be able to reach those improvements. We still have a lot to do to continue to improve, and we will, working with the team, and I believe that they are dedicated. There's been a lot of, investigations. There's been a lot of just cleaning up of the environment, which has to continue, and definitely working with the staff who are dedicated to really deliver and do things properly. We are on a trajectory to improve our audit outcomes even further, and hopefully before the end of the next 5 years get a clean audit. A big sore point for me, I arrived in the department, I think 2 weeks later, I was on a poster apparently selling houses. So it's a big issue, a lot of fraud, a lot of corruption, and we working with the law enforcement agencies. It is a slow process, and I think the biggest challenge is those who have been affected by fraud and corruption in the space are very reluctant to come forward to say, yes, I paid somebody 20,000 rand to get a house, and these are the details, and now the person is gone, they no longer answer my calls, etc. So it's a battle we have to be able to fight together. A lot of scams, a lot of, and we all get affected by it. Somebody claiming to be working in the MEC's office, or the MEC to be the MEC herself. And unfortunately, because of the vulnerability of citizens, they fall prey to it. Because people are desperate, they're looking for a quick way to resolve their issues. But like I said, I think if we strengthen working on that together, we'll be able to at least see some type of movement in terms of law enforcement, investigation, progress, just to clamp down and come hard on corruption, on scams, on fraudulent activity, all in the name of either selling houses or selling your position on the list, bump you up 50, 500. You are now no longer 1,500, you can be number 1 tomorrow. But I think that, like I said, it needs all of us to be able to consistently educate and communicate what to look out for, because the truth is, even the most educated or the most exposed do fall prey to scams. There's a huge SARS scam currently, and it affects a lot of people who are generally unsuspecting, and there's a lot of those in our community. So yes, I've worked with all the municipalities. We've had an opportunity to interact with the National Department of Human Settlements. We've had an opportunity to make input into some of the policy reforms. a big area of policy reform, or let me say legislative reform, is the PI Act. It affects us extremely badly here in Gauteng. We have lots of land invasions. After 48 hours, we can't move people. What do we do? So we're looking forward to those reforms, of course, spearheaded by National, but we will definitely make a vast and great input because they affect us badly. And yes, we do have a big backlog, a huge backlog of houses, 1.3 million, growing every day because people apply for houses every day. But we endeavor to build what we are meant to build. And I've said to the team that while we definitely, in my life, I'm not going to build 1,300,000 houses, but if we've been given an allocation and funding to build 10 houses, let's build the 10 houses. Let's meet at least at the very minimum, the bare minimum, what we are supposed to do in a financial year consistently. And if everything goes well and like I said, the economy grows, the fiscus strengthens, we'll get more money, it will come into the social stream of government, and we'll be able to bump up the numbers. It's a huge task, but I think if we can just commit to building what we are supposed to build every year, because we've been given the money to do so, that for me would be would not be first prize, but would be close to it. Thank you very much.
Just one last round of applause. I mean, you know, one of the things that really stressed me out all the time is that I see the MEC almost every day of my life. And with her small stature, she is able to memorize all of these things. She goes into a meeting, writes it down once, and she never forgets it. So it's one of the things that I really do appreciate. Thank you so much, MEC, for giving you. Thank you for making me write that speech that you didn't read. But in the main, Kadush, are we ready? All right. Colleagues, please enjoy the... Did you test it? Okay, let's try. Press play. Yes, it has sound. Okay, great.
MEC Motara further tabled the Department's 2024-2025 financial year budget, which will be used in the implementation of mega projects, the Hostel Revitalization Program, and the revitalization of CBDs as part of creating housing opportunities and other developmental programs.
That's it. It's not our fault. We cannot find PPE that fits her. So, now we are going to do some. If there are any, I wanted to change the format a bit. Morongo is going to punch me in the face. By the way, we also need to give a round of applause to Morongo and her team. she really pushed very hard to ensure that this event happened. So thank you very much, Osmoroy, and the whole team. I wanted to change the format a bit because the program says we're going to do just a Q&A session with the MEC. But the MEC is here for the next few hours. I mean, if we really did try, we could probably get her here until tomorrow morning. But I think we can have an engagement informally where colleagues who would want to have a conversation can have a conversation with her instead of subjecting each and every single one to the questions that maybe different media houses may want to ask. Is that fine, MEC? Yeah. Asmorongo, please. If I come to work with a blue eye tomorrow, know who did it. Is that fine with the journalists, where we can have just sideline one-on-one conversations with the MEC? Is that fine? Is any objections? Going once? Prosox? All right. All right. Please allow me to welcome the Chief Director of the Communications Unit, Mr. Tahir Sima. He's also one of the guys that, I think when he was young, he was probably, you were a class captain, eh? Yeah, he was probably a class captain. He does everything like a class captain. Please welcome our class captain, Tahir.
Thank you very much. My job here is just to thank you all sincerely for coming out and engaging with us this evening. Please do not leave until we network and chill. That is, in essence, why we are all here. We heard the MEC speech, but we want to engage with you in an informal setting and environment. The connections made here today have the potential to inspire future projects and partnerships. And these partnerships will shape the media landscape. I have no doubt about that. Let's continue to build on the energy and the ideas that will be exchanged here as we move forward. Please stay connected, keep innovating, and remember that the relationships we forge in spaces like this are what push our industry forward. I'm sure we can all agree on that. Once again, thank you all, and I look forward to seeing the outcomes of these collaborations. But before I step off, I must also share with you any and all budding entrepreneurs. We've got opportunities for you as well. So let this be the starter for the conversations, the informal engagements. If you want to build housing as an entrepreneur, we've got an opportunity for you. If you want to build student accommodation, we've got an opportunity for you. Let's talk. Even if you want to build a minimum of 15 units, which a budding black entrepreneur can do. 15 units, if you can build, if you want to enter into our space, let's talk. Let's use that as the conversation starter as we engage in networking. Thank you very much for coming out once again. That's the end of the formal program. Please enjoy something to eat and a few non-alcoholic drinks.
I did say the class captain is going to speak about non-alcoholic drinks. But anyway, thank you so much for your attention and your respect. I know that MEC, we've got like 2 interviews that have been lined up. But anybody who'd like to have a sideline interview with the MEC, please just see me. Ausmorongwe, can you also give us where we are going to eat, where the bar is going to be, for the non-alcoholic drinks, Tahir, and so on. And also as it relates to time where we are going to eat. Okay. All right.
Good evening, everyone. Dinner is gonna be served at 7:30, and it's gonna be at the dining hall where you had your nibbles before the session, and non-alcoholic drinks and alcoholic beverages will be on the left-hand side where Tabani is. Can you raise your hand so that they can see you? Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, colleagues. As we said, anybody who wants to have a sideline, please see me. And then, yeah, that is the end of the formal program. Thank you, class captain. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for your attention.